Are Irondrakes any good? Now, as you can see in the description, this is during the Shadows of Change era, patch 4.1 and onward, and I understand Irondrakes were not good before. Now, they are. Let's see just how spicy they can get. Please like, subscribe, comment, and consider donating Oath Gold to my treasury. Gold is nice, but comments are worth their weight in gold, so to speak. Irondrakes are recruited for 700 in campaign, with 175 upkeep, less than I guessed in my head. This gives you 28 stout entities, 3,584 health between them, but that's 128 per model. That's a lot of resistance against area effect attacks right there. Each entity has 125 armor, which is very high, 35% spell resistance, and 40% fire resistance, which is a critical thing to remember when going up against flame-using opponents, like in the much later released Chaos Dwarf roster. Leadership is 85 default, which is fantastic, highly elite. Speed is a mere 26. Melee attack is 20. Attack interval is 4, melee defense is 27, and weapon strength is a mere 20, 17 base, and 3 armor piercing. This is why they're missile infantry. Melee is just not their strength. Charge bonus is 6, and mass is 180, so on the tall side. As for the missile weapon, ammunition is a whopping 100. Range is a mere 80, but missile damage is listed as 147, doubling as flaming attack and providing the burnt morale debuff. Base damage on impact is 8 base and 4 armor piercing, but each projectile has 15 base explosive damage and 6, I repeat, 6 armor piercing explosive damage, which is on the high side for this kind of weapon. Detonation radius is 3. There are 4 shots per volley, and each shot has 1 projectile each, so that's how the ammunition works out in practice. Reload time is 9, total accuracy is the standard 20. Calibration distance is 40, half the max range, and calibration area is a tight 1.4 meters. So we see that this is basically a dwarf weapon team, and indeed it is a DLC unit. It is recruited from the Gunsmith's Forge, a tier 3 building offering cannons and thunderers as well. I mention because its role is of course radically different, slaughtering the horde enemies. In that role, it is truly outstanding, and the survivability and high leadership makes dealing with Irondrakes a highly specialized task. In the Lord Redline skills, Fire and Fury grants up to plus 8% missile strength and 8% reload time reduction. Dawi Firepower provides rank 7 elites plus 12% missile strength, plus 10% more reload time reduction, and 15% missile resistance. Fantastic for holding out against squishy archers until you can get close enough to roast their bows and the archers themselves. In the tech tree, Volatile Volley grants another plus 8% missile strength and plus 5% range, so the flames reach just a bit longer. Iron Readiness reduces recruitment time by 1 turn. Iron Price reduces recruitment cost by 5%. Iron Veterans grants plus 2 recruit experience rank. Sacred Duty reduces upkeep by 5%, and Forge Proven Armor grants plus 5 armor and plus 5 melee defense. That's a lot, but in case it becomes an issue in a long battle, what do you not see here? Ammunition increases. If you want that, you'd better get a Master Engineer in the ranks. Their passive increasing explosion missile damage is great as well. As for how you use these guys, it's very much like my Warp Fire Thrower video, except these are better protected and resilient. Basically, they need a lot of escorting to ensure that they fire at full strength into a blob, but if you manage to pull it off, the effects are spectacular. And even though Warp Fire Throwers do more raw damage, Irondrakes can still seriously mess up even elite, highly armored infantry. And also, of course, you can use heroes in order to blob up opponents and make them as vulnerable as possible to your firing line. Where are they weak? Low entity count cavalry, monstrous infantry, single entities. Where are they strong beyond all bounds of proportionality? Dryads. Think of them as dry tinder ads, dryads for short. They burn exceptionally well. Even if they don't do much relative damage to, let's say, a War Hydra, they're still wrecking its regeneration as well as sapping its morale. A lot of the big monsters hate being set on fire, so they tend to break more easily. Keep that in mind. Beyond that, just make the most out of the unit. It's great, don't get me wrong, but its value is conditional. You have to plan for everything an enemy might throw at you, even if you keep 1 or 2 Irondrakes to massacre the blobs and set your warriors loose on the back lines. This frees up other resources to deal with other problems, but you need to actually use the resources productively to win. Take care and have fun setting the world on fire.